This is our Baffled Ridge Vent. This is what we use on everybody's roof based on what shingle we're installing. So this is the Owens Corning 4-foot ridge vent. This is the GAF 4-foot ridge vent. And we also use CertainTeed's 4-foot ridge vent, but I only have 2 hands. So I'm gonna show you these two. They're basically the same thing, right? So let me turn it around. The most important thing that we have in this area is a lot of wind and snow, and we get bugs. So we are at the top of the roof cutting and opening up on either side of the ridge beam in order for air to escape through these vents. But it could also allow bugs in and snow and dust. And so to avoid that, what they've done is they've put these weather barrier felts on the interior part of the ridge vent in order to stop any of bugs, dirt, snow to accumulate in the attic. And this is a similar version with the felt on it as well. And it's applied from the manufacturer. So we get them and they look like this. All right. Second cool thing about these is they won't compress. So there's other versions of ridge vent that will compress. And when they compress, it'll let less air out of the attic space. So these are very strong. They're made of plastic, polymers, whatever. I don't know really what they're made of, but they have the strength to if you were to stand on this, it would still be able to allow air to come through. And if you nail this shingle, I'll show you about the nailing pattern as well. So there's a line here that runs up there, and there's a line here, and you can see nails will go here, and these little pre-drilled holes or pre-punched holes are where we nail them originally onto the roof. So they go up on the roof on either side. It gets put on like this, and then they get nailed with 3-inch nails, preferably. That's what we use, but 3-inch nails. It gets nailed on all these little holes here that are already pre-cut, right? And then, you know, the same thing with this version, this brand. This is GAF's. You know, you got the holes here, so we know where to nail it. On the GAF version, which is kind of nice, you'll see this writing here, and it'll tell you, you know, this is where you cut, this is the ridge beam, these are the openings that would be the size of the openings, or how much the opening should be, and it kind of gives you a center line, so that when you put it up on the roof, you know that this line is the center, and that way you're not too far over on the right side, too far over on the other side with this, because that can be a problem. So these got to line up. And most of the time, the guys, they'll do like a chalk line all the way along the roof line. Sometimes they don't, because they can eye it up with this right here. One of the cool features of these two products is that see at the end there, it has a cap on it. So each piece locks in as it goes across, or some just butt up against each other. You give a little bit of a gap there. But at the end of the roof, where you don't have another one joining, it's got this end cap. So, you know, driving rain, wind, bugs, they can't get in through the end of the line of ridge vent. So if you were starting the roof and this was the roof right here, there would be no way for wind to blow in there. And same thing, if you went to the old total opposite side of the house, you know, this side has it also installed. So it has an end plug basically to alleviate any water driving in there. What else can I say about these things? They are pretty much standard on every roofing project. You gotta have ventilation. And we run this continuously all the way across the roof. So you don't have this weird drop down and then it goes up and then these start. And it just kind of catches your eye. So these are ridge vents. Obviously, this isn't what you get to see. You get to see shingles on top of this as they curve. And one of the most important parts of these products is this little baffle right here. And I don't know if you can see it. They both have it. I'll use this one for example. You see this little baffle here? So when the wind comes up the roof line, it actually deflects the wind back out. And then that helps the exhaust from underneath. And in the attic space, it actually causes a low pressure, and it pulls the actual attic air out, whether it's cold, humid air, or it's hot, 150 degree air. And it's circulating all this air in and out of your house. And I don't want to go into the technicals of net-free area and all that stuff, but these are the products we use and on every roof. So GAF has one, Owens Corning has one, Certainty has one. And these 4-foot sticks, these guys are the best to use, in our opinion, on people's roofs, instead of like the foamy, squishy stuff, because it just limits the amount of exhausted air you can get out of the attic space at one time. And so these are it. That's my review. And, you know, these are going on somebody's house at some point.